Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 21 of my Billions and Billions challenge. In today's episode, I am going to be building a pair of nuclear reactors from the mod NuclearCraft, so let's get started. The first thing that I need to do is I actually need to make fuel from my nuclear reactor. I have, I think, everything that I will need with me. So there are many different types of fuel that you can build for the mod, for the mod NuclearCraft for the nuclear fission reactors. I should have specified that I am going to be doing the fission reactors today, and I'm going to be using this big old building that I have built between episodes. So the first thing I need to do is I actually need to make fuel for my reactors. So I think I'm going to use the TBU Fuel, which is one of the base fuels that you can make in the game. It's probably the easiest fuel to make because it just requires thorium ingots. And let's get started with building that. So the first thing that I need to grab is my Isotopes Sub Separator. And let's go ahead and put it right here. And this needs fuel, or this needs energy rather, not fuel. But it can accept both RF and EU. So RF from the thermal expansion mods and from Ender.io, as well as EU from IndustrialCraft. It can accept any of those energies. Also, I've decided to throw in as many speed upgrades and energy upgrades as it can take. And so now this will take 650 RF per tick, and it will actually move very, very quickly. So let's go ahead and wire up the electricity for this. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to bump this over just one. That way I can run my energy conduit from the ceiling here, kind of drop it down like that. So let's go ahead and dig through right here. I think the easiest way to do this is if I just dig a big old hole here, and I do need to set this to be output. And now I can hook up my flex duct right here. And actually I do want to not have them connected there. So we can run this over, and actually what I'm going to do right here is, first off, I'm going to actually disconnect those from my ME controller there, and then I want to grab some covers. Because if I don't do this now, actually the cryo-stabilized flex duct is a little bit hard to put covers on if it's already connected to a certain side. So like this cover right here would be really hard to place if it was connected already. So that's why I did that. So let's just run this over. It should get power, and as we see, it does have power now. So let's go ahead and give it some thorium, and how I'm going to do that is export buses. So you know, the easiest way to do this might be through the ground here. So let's do a little bit of digging underneath. Let's get the tunneling mode. And actually, this is a little bit more complicated because I forgot about this area down here. I think that'll be okay. So let's go ahead and get the export bus here. We'll set it up to have acceleration cards and export thorium ingots. So what the isotope separator will do is it will separate the thorium ingots into thorium 232 and then thorium 230. So I do need to go ahead and hook this up to my ME system somehow, and I think I can just run this straight over actually. Beside my elevator kind of being in the way. Let's actually knock those away and then connect this up like so. And then, okay, I can't go up there, but I should be able to go up here. Let's actually take a snooze because my building does have an open top and zombies and stuff sometimes come around and make my life difficult. There we go. They couldn't actually get in the building, but they can come around and make lots of loud noises, which that's just annoying. So the isotope separator is running. I forgot to add in the upgrades. So this thing runs relatively fast with the 64 speed upgrades. So what I'm going to do next is I actually need to get the different isotopes out. And so let's grab, I totally forgot to make filters because I'm going to need filters from the mod Ender.io, I think. So let's grab some item conduit and some filters. And there's the zombie I didn't want. Okay, so filter. And we just need the basic item filter from Ender.io. That's how you make that. go ahead and throw this in here. I am going to need 2 of them, I believe. And then I need some item duct. So I'm just going to grab a whole stack. I'm not sure if I am going to need that much or not. I kind of don't think so. But might as well have too much and rather than too little. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run this kind of out the back. So let's grab the item duct, throw it here. Let's get a Yeta wrench, because I actually want to configure these before I put down my black hole units that are going to hold the thorium. That's still in the way. So this needs to be extract, and then, okay, so it won't even let me do that. But that's okay. So what I can do is, let's actually turn this extract off for right now. Active with signal, that's fine. Put down the black hole units here. Let's actually grab the thorium. And let's go ahead and set up these as insert. Let's throw a filter in right there. And then this one will be insert as well with a filter right here. So, and let's actually set this to be extract up on brown. I think I'm going to need that extraction point. So this will be, and I actually need to configure the filters before I forget. So this will be the 232. This is what the fuel is made out of. And then the 230 for right now, I'm just going to store it. I don't have anything else to do with it for right now. I think it is useful in the future for making maybe helium? Helium collectors? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. So actually, let's see if I can't make a few speed upgrades. I probably should have done this beforehand, but that's okay. I think I have the electrical steel to make those. Fantastic. So let's throw these, where'd they go? There they went, into the extract point. So that'll extract really quick. There we go. We have our thorium. And then the next thing I need to do with the thorium is actually put it into a sequential fabricator. And let's put the sequential fabricator right here. And what we can do is actually I can tell it to auto, I cannot tell it to auto input. So I will need the item duct in the back. So let's go ahead and put it right back there. And this will be insert on brown. And there's the thorium. So the TBU fuel is just simply made like this. It's really simple crafting recipe, obviously. And I do need to get that power, so let's go ahead and do that. We can just run that over. So now we have TBU fuel, so that's going to be fantastic. Let's go ahead and set up one more thing here, and that is going to be, I'm going to output to over here. I'm going to output into a modular storage unit so that I will be able to keep up to 6,400 of this TBU fuel laying around. So the last thing I want to do is I want to hook that up to a storage bus so that my ME system has access to that. And all I need to do is run this over like so and put a storage bus on this like so. So I do need to configure this. I do want to tell it, let's tell it negative priority so that other things don't get in here. And then let's try to configure this one more time. There we go. So what I'm going to do real fast is I am going to fix all the holes in the floor that I made here and the walls. And once I have that done, I will be right back. Now that I have that taken care of, let's actually start building the reactor. So I'm actually going to be building 2 identical reactors. I'm probably just going to do one of them on camera and one of them off. But the first thing I'm going to do is plop down the Fission controllers that I have. And then let's go ahead and start making the casing of the reactor. So the bottom of the reactor is actually going to be in the floor. And I do want to grab a wand. That'll make things just a little bit easier. And let's grab another wand because this wand is about to break. And then let's just run this straight over. Okay, so for the sides here, and I actually need to get rid of this torch. I'm not sure how tall I'm going to build this thing just yet. I think the reactor is something like 11 by 12, so let's build it. Let's build it 11 high, I think would be a good place to start. So I don't need to do the corners. And then I do need to remember to put one there, and then let's start going up. So I need actually to be in the right mode to do that. And I do want it to wrap around like so. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and my wand broke. Figured it would. So that's okay. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I need more reactor casing, but that shouldn't be a problem. I should have plenty more. Okay, so now I lost my count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 2 more. 10, 11. Okay, now we need to do the top. And to do that, we will simply place a block of cobblestone, so I can place that block there. And now I can run this across. And now I can grab my wand back and switch the mode so I don't accidentally place any blocks on top or anything. And then run this over. So next, let's go ahead and make sure that this is formed. It is, because the GUI would say casing incomplete if it was not formed up, but it is. So let's go ahead and tear open a hole here because we need to get inside to do some placement. So for the inside of the nuclear reactor, we need to place coolers, which are these right here. These are just about all of the coolers in the mod NuclearCraft, and they will keep the reactor cool. And then fuel cells. So let's go ahead and actually, you know what? I think I want to move my reactor. And I think I want to move it one up because I need to actually no, I don't. So there's a way to get around this. So there are these fission reactor ports, and we have to place these in the sides. We can't place these in the top or bottom, but I should be able to interact with the reactor by using these. So let's go ahead and make 2 of these for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place them on either side of the reactor or the controller there. And for these, I need one of them will be an input, one of them will be an output, and then the controller itself will be where I draw the energy from the reactor. So let's actually put this back and let's open this up. Okay, so I think that should work. So let's go ahead and grab some fuel cells. And that's not what they're called. They're called reactor cells. So let's get rid of some stuff that I think I can go ahead and get rid of. You know what? Let's grab 2 more of these because I want to get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory that I don't need. And if I just go ahead and set these up, I can do my import and output, my export buses. So we'll do export buses over here, and then the import buses will be over here. And for the export buses, we need to tell it to be TBU Fuel. And then let's go ahead and connect that up in just a second here. And let's do these as well. Now I can get rid of this cable. And actually, I want to facade these up. Might as well while I'm here. Okay, so now we can throw on these elbows. Let's go ahead and connect the reactor up as well to energy. And then, oh, I got rid of my covers, didn't I? So let's get rid of the things that we don't need anymore. I do want to go ahead and place those in, if I can. I don't think I will need the item conduit. I should only need 2 of the casing. I don't need that or that. I don't need the storage bus. I don't need the thorium. Don't even think I'll need that. Shouldn't need that. So I just need covers. That's the last thing I was looking for there. So I do want to go ahead and put these acceleration cards in before I forget. There we go. So I can actually tie these reactors into the energy grid at another time, but that should be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and start building the interior of the reactor here. So I need the reactor cells, and they are right here. So I'm going to need a lot of these because I'm using the fuel that actually produces the least amount of heat. And then I'm going to need a lot of coolers. So first off, all the coolers have different rules for where they can be placed and be effective. So the Indium Coolers need to be in the corners of the reactor. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make 8 of these. I should already have the Indium for those. I don't actually have that. So I know I'm going to be using a lot of the Cryothium Coolers. So let's go ahead and make several of those. I don't have Bliss Powder. Why don't I have Bliss Powder? That's weird. I should have lots of Bliss Powder. Oh, okay. So I can make Bliss Powder. I just don't have a whole lot of it right now. So sorry about that. I am going to go ahead and make that recipe real fast. So to make Bliss Powder, we can pulverize Blizz Rods, and it makes 4. So I really thought I had some more of this stuff laying around, but apparently not. Okay, so let's get back to making 500 of those coolers. Should be able to now. There we go. And then I am also going to need a lot of the 10 coolers. So let's do 200 of those for right now. Those are actually really easy to make. And then Lapis Coolers as well. Let's make 400 of those. I feel like I'm going to need a lot of those. I know I'm going to be using a lot of the Cryothium Coolers as well as the tin coolers. So let's run over to the reactor. And let's start actually mapping things out. So this reactor is 11 by 11 by 12. So the 12 dimension is across. So basically this is a square along the back wall. So that kind of helps me out. Let's go ahead and grab some of those coolers. And okay, the Indium Coolers aren't quite done yet, unfortunately. And okay, so I'm just waiting on lapis blocks there. My tin coolers are done, so that's good. And then, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for some of the coolers to get crafted. And once those are done being crafted, I will be right back. So my coolers are done, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is place the Indium Coolers in the corner because that's where they go. That's the only place that they can be effective. And actually, there aren't many other coolers that are generally very effective in the corner of your reactors. So I generally just start my designs by doing that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start placing some Lapis Coolers. And those must be adjacent to at least one reactor casing and one reactor cell. So let's go ahead and place these. I'm going to place these around. That's how I'm going to start this. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to place that one there. And then we'll just drop this down below like so. And then let's, what I actually need to do here is let's go ahead and switch up my inventory so that I have access to my coolers here. So there we go. So next I'm going to place some reactor cells, and I'm going to do them just right like so. And unfortunately, I'm having issues placing them exactly where I want them. I'm doing it in a pattern that hopefully I can use my builder's wand to bring this across the room relatively easily, because I will be placing over 1,000 blocks in the interior of this reactor. So let's go ahead and next we'll use some Cryothium Coolers. Cryothium Coolers go between 2 reactor cells, or they have to be touching 2 reactor cells. So let's go ahead and run them like so. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. And then inside of that ring, we're going to have a ring of these right here. So building the interior of the NuclearCraft reactor is often trial and error to make sure that you're not producing too much heat. And here in a second, we're going to be kind of turning this on and seeing exactly what we're going to get. So it looks like my current design is not actually going to use any of the tin coolers. So let me see if there are any of the coolers that can be placed adjacent to 2 of the cryotherm coolers, because I'm not 100% sure if there is. 2 lapis. So it looks like I might have some dead space in this reactor design if I go ahead and run this. So the redstone, at least 1 reactor cell. Nope, I know what I can do here. Okay, so we can do this. And then this corner here, I can make some redstone coolers. Yeah, that should work. So let me grab some redstone coolers. I really don't think these will take too long to make. Let's actually get rid of some cells and let's grab a stack of these. Okay, so the redstone coolers can go something like right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to seal up the reactor, and I'm going to see if we're making positive heat or negative heat. Hopefully it's negative. So we do have a good amount negative. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab my wand, and I'm going to start dragging this design across the room. It looks like I don't actually have a wand with me. So let me rectify. I do. Whoops. Let's grab that. And I do need this mode right here. So let's go ahead and let's go this far across the room. So this is one reason why I did a design like this. It's really easy to use my builder's wand here to just kind of drag this design across the room. Okay, I do have that done. Now I need to do the redstones. And then I need those. There we go. Okay, so let's seal this back up and let's see where we're at heat-wise. So we are way positive at this point, which is not what we wanted to see. But the energy output was going to be rather good. So what I can do is maybe take out some of the reactor cells here. Let me think. So what if I do something like this? So this isn't the best. It isn't going to be the best or most efficient design, but this design should produce a lot of power. What I'm going to do is place a bunch of cryotherm coolers, and then on the other side of that, place more reactor cells. And I can probably do the same thing for the interior there. Okay, so that's cool. And then, like I said, let's go ahead and do the interior here as well. And that's not the right thing. Okay, reactor cells. Okay, let's place down a few more cryotherm coolers here. And we can do all of these around here as well. And this should get us closer back to that net zero mark. And I did mean to hit this corner here. Because your heat will build as you have more reactor cells beside each other. So that's why the first time that I sealed up the reactor, I had a net negative rating, because as I added fuel rods across the reactor in this direction, and I can't even describe, this direction forward and backward, I'm getting a lot more heat because I have a whole lot more reactor cells beside each other. So let's go ahead and do the Lapis Coolers next. And then let's see where we're at from there. We should be a lot closer to where we need to be now. Which is, I want to be as close to 0 as possible without going over. You want to be under 0. So it looks like I've used up most of the blocks in my inventory. Which means I might need some more blocks. Okay, let's try this one more time here. So we're really, really close here, and this will produce 90,000 RF per tick. I can definitely work this, get this to work. So let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and because I know if I put like lapis and stuff on this end, I can get it to be close, but I don't think I will actually get it to be where it needs to be. Okay, so let's do one more ring here. And then let's see where we're at. Actually, let's just place these individually. Okay, let's see where we're at now. Ooh, a little bit higher, unfortunately. Okay, so you know what? Let's do another layer of the cryothium blocks here, and then we should be able to get under. Looks like I'm gonna need just a few more of these coolers here, maybe. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. So I should have a few more left over. Yes, I do. Fantastic. Do I have some more lapis, some more redstone? And actually, nah, let's not put more fuel cells there. Let's go around. And actually, let's go from top or bottom to top. That'll be easiest. And then we'll do this. And then the interior right here. Okay, this is a little bit difficult. I'm running out of room, but that's okay. Oh, shoot. So I'm going to need a whole lot of the Lapis Cooler, it looks like, around the edges. And then that there. Okay, so the last of the cryothium coolers, and I didn't end up using the tin coolers, unfortunately. So I made a bunch of those for no apparent reason, it looks like. Oh well. Okay, so let's do the lapis, which just needs to be around the edges. Okay, this is gonna be, I think, really, really close to where it needs to be. Drop this down. Okay, let's see here. We do have just a little bit more room to get it cool, so that's fantastic. We have a negative number there. That is exactly what I wanted to see there. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that. That is a lot of energy. It will produce over 100,000 RF per tick. And at some point between episodes, I am going to go ahead and replicate that reactor or do something similar anyways with this reactor over here. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I do want to go ahead and finish up my conduit run and then turn this bad boy on. So let's go ahead and get some flux duct. Let's go ahead and get some covers as well. Let's get rid of this stuff here. I don't need that anymore. I should need, let's let's say 2 more covers. And then I should have grabbed, and I can't think of what I should have grabbed. Okay, so let's just, I should have grabbed more covers and a lever. That's what I was going to grab. So I need 2 more covers. Just grab a lever as well, because that's how you turn on the reactor. And then some stone, because I'm going to dig a hole in the wall real fast. So my covers can go here. Temporary hole in the wall, covers here. And then I need to set this to be input right here. And then we can just run this over there like so. And then let's go ahead and seal up this hole in the wall there. And then I should be able to go ahead and turn this reactor on. So these ports do look like they have worked. So the reactor does have fuel in it. It will not run positive heat flow. So that's good. And let's go ahead and put the lever on. And actually, because I actually want to see the light here, let's go ahead and turn it on. It is producing power here. So that's fantastic. And the TBU fuel will become depleted TBU fuel in a future episode. I will probably reprocess this. But this is a really good amount of power for this reactor. And let's see if that pulls it out. It does. So that's fantastic. So I think that's a pretty good wrapping up point. I didn't even connect up the reactor. I connected up the empty one. So I will go ahead and connect this up between episodes, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off for right now because it's not connected to anything. But in today's episode, I set up a system to automatically make TBU fuel, which will go into this reactor up here. And that reactor will provide power to my base. And that will allow me to build maybe 2 or 3 more void ore miners that are tier 6. And so I'll get even more stuff. So if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely feel free to drop a like down below. I know I bumbled through some of the reactor placement, but it's just kind of trial and error to get it to a good state. But anyways, if you enjoy automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.